There are a couple of questions which are follow-ups to the topic last week on judgment, if you want to start with that. The person that's written in has said that they feel really stuck with this topic of judgment and wants to explain the scenarios. They feel like their mind is judging very quickly, and in some cases,
people
like
even judge me when I give them the answers. So never mind they judging themselves, but they judge actually myself when I give them the answer, because most of the time when people get answers, they want answer that is suitable to what they would really like to hear. So that will create a judgment. I know lots of people, when they ask questions, they find it quite either intimidating to bear it, or answer is not satisfactory because it does not pleases the people's ego, or it does not fix in their present scenario. So sometimes even the people they can also judge. So it's not the question that they judge it too fast. There's a human mind have nothing but judgment.
That they judge themselves for judging themselves, for being judgmental. And there's a couple of examples. Basically, one is when they're with loved ones who are very close, like a partner or parents or a very good friend, if I think or feel that their point of view or action or emotion isn't right, I lash out, I scream, I shout, I respond aggressively.
When you are with loved ones, either loved ones, your parents, family, children, you are with them. My question is, are you with yourself? If you are not with yourself, the problem is not you are with loved ones. You are in a company with the loved ones without being yourself, without being with yourself. And everything that one person like to have for themselves will react because you would like to fix those situations in other people. So point one advice is try to be with yourself and share your presence, being with yourself, being you in amongst loved ones. So not you can never be with anyone. You can share your company. You can share your presence with other people, but you can never be with anyone. I can guarantee you that much. Continue.
I find it a little embarrassing because they feel quite childish because of the emotional reaction that it creates. And another example is with the partner who they judge for many things. And one is in regards to money. If the partner's buying something that this individual doesn't deem valuable, they judge. And when looking at their own character, they find it's perfectly right as it's not in line with the values, which are for the individual so obvious and universal. It's like honesty, inclusiveness, openness. And then spending money on something stupid is just a no-go. So when looking from outside or maybe through the other's eyes, the individual feels really guilty and realizes judging is wrong and everyone's allowed to be and act in who they are and with what they want.
In the point of expectation, drop the expectation. In that immediate relationship, judgment will disappear. If you drop the expectation of economical, their social behavior, expectation from your own self, create a more acceptance, less expectations, but more acceptance will create a complete harmony in that present situation. Identity, because you identify the specific person with some idealistic situation in life. Drop being idealistic, drop the expectation, create more acceptance, allow people to be individual. How the person is, what they do, how they behave, what they like, what they don't like, what they buy, what they don't buy, it is very individual. If you try to make a commodity, if you try to make it either people to behave, the, their behavior and their thinking should be unified. If you are in a relationship, this person no longer exists. You have made that person into just like your carbon copy. There is no two people, there is only one person, which is not possible. The problem of the conflict, internal battle, arguments, fights, most of them happen in any relationship because one person tries to dominate the second person, try to dominate each other to make it commodity, which is not possible. You are two independent individual beings. So be celebrative in that moment to celebrate your individuality, but coming together to create co-creating a pockets of harmony. Permanent harmony not possible. The permanent harmony only possible only with yourself. But two people in harmony 24/7 not possible. You can have ideology of it, you can have a story of it, you may create a compromise, what we call it modern language. You will compromise each other, say, okay, forgiving, compromise, you bring some more laws inside. You bring compromise, they means you have to bring forgiveness too. When you bring forgiveness, you have to bring the guilt, regret, and also try to hide, be nice, politeness also comes along. All those other scenarios comes along because you could not be honest with each other. And you like to when two people or it don't have to be in a relationship, even in a friends. Any form of partnership, if the individuality gets suppressed on to being together, creating harmony, being on the same page, being commodity, you are going to have misery, you are going to have a fight, you are going to have problems. So allow each other to be individual, share the moments of happiness, share the individuality to create a pockets of happiness, pockets of harmony, moments of harmony and celebrate them. But when one try to dominate or project the individual ideas, behavior, and expectation from each other, to make it like at the 24/7, they need to be what you call it soulmates. Even soulmates fight. If that's the case, if you try to make commodity, the problems will arrive because you try to break down each other's internal infrastructure, how the person thinks, how the person behaves. So, in my view, don't expect, allow that person to be individual, let them be happy. Co-create a maybe 5 minutes, maybe a 2 hour, 3 hour, maybe a day of harmony. So when you are together, be celebrative to that moment. Don't try to celebrate the moment those are in disharmony. But the problem with the human mind is we hold on to those moments of disharmony and celebrate them. We forget the moments that are in harmony, we never celebrate them. We never appreciate them. We never actually embrace them. But we only embrace the moments that actually are in disharmony. To give them, oh, we are together, we must need to fix that. There is nothing wrong in that situation. When there was a disharmony, you are being individual. and your expectations are not matching from one to other. And accept that as well and celebrate it. You create a peace. So, in the economical front, your lover or your husband or your girlfriend or the boyfriend, whatever it is, allow them to be individual, no need to judge them because you have expectation of certain standard. If it doesn't match you, accept them in whatever standard they are at. So, I'm not asking to compromise, I'm asking to accept. Now people say, but I have to compromise that. I'm not saying you have to compromise. You have a choice to be in that situation of disharmony or no in this situation. And by the moment you accept it, it will become harmony. If you don't accept it, stay with disharmony and continue fighting. Or leave that person, find some situation where you can match your complete idealistic situation, which is not possible. Everywhere you will find it, if you're looking for domination of personal individual viewpoint, there will be a possibility of that harmony no matter where you go.
Over a period of a couple of weeks, the individual's body started to move in a circular motion. They haven't indicated which direction of this circular motion, but at first they thought it was their imagination, that it wasn't actually happening. And they recorded themselves and confirmed actually the body was moving. So they wanted to know, if it's normal.
I like that idea. I like the person. I like the person's enthusiasm, determination, and assertiveness, like the being very inquisitive to understand what is happening in the meditation. That is I've been asking many of my students when you practice yoga, please film yourself and watch it. Are you making any mistakes? None of them do it. Thank you, person who film yourself meditating. I appreciate that. Some of the students who practice training with me, please learn. It's not something I ask you new to do it. Lots of people do it. Especially meditation, but there is not much movement. So, first of all, appreciation and great regards and greetings to the person who have gone to such a length to prove that imagination that there is not projected, it is the real movement of the body, circular motion. So that's the good point. Second part is the body is moving in circular motion, so is the whole universe. Everything is moving. Some things you can't see, some things you can see. Even your house, if you look at the brick is also vibrating, but you cannot see the brick vibrating. But when you are in with the subtle presence, when there is harmony in the body, when energy is moving in the body, you can feel the movement. So it is an energetic movement. It's very normal. When the Kundalini or any energy movement is happening in the body or transmitting, moving up and down, whichever way it is moving, your body will have circulation motions, but try not to buy into it. My personal advice. It is not ultimate goal to have a swaying circulation of the body during meditation. That is not an aim or achievement one should be looking for. But if it is happening, not to be concerned about it. It is just a energy shifting, clearing certain blockages, or clearing your auric field, and rising your vibration. Or is a depend which way it is moving will have impact as well. Your body, your subtle body energy either can move in lengthways or a vortex way. Body is moving, it's a very good thing. Please do enjoy and celebrate and continue meditating. And do not buy into it, don't fight with it, accept that your body is moving. You will not be meditating on the circulation, or you will not be moving with the circle of the body. If your circle of the body becomes a meditation, make sure you do it so much that you become 100% one with the circulation of the body, the circles of the body, the movement of the body, and you disappear, only circle remain. You can also reach into that way into samadhi. But it need to go such a length you have to become one with it. 100% one with it. No judgment to it, not analyzing, not projecting, not creating, nothing. Just become one with it. That can also lead you for transformation. So please do continue practicing and make sure that doesn't stop your practice. I remember during Vipassana Kriya meditation, I think 2 years ago, in the one of my students, while they were meditating, I have never seen something incredible. They thought they are still seated upright. They are mentally going to their feet, but actually their head end up on the floor. And they are not aware of it, their head is already on the ground. If they go to the right leg, head goes to the right leg. If they go to the left leg, head goes to the left leg. But when they come out, they said they have no idea, the person said, they have no idea that my head is actually going. They thought only awareness was going. Need to enjoy the practice. All those physical symptoms during meditation one person feels are totally irrelevant. I will not entertain any idea. Even you see a color, don't entertain it. Even you see the gods, don't entertain it. Even you see the, what do you call it? Your higher self, don't entertain it. Because your higher self, my higher self is the same, but when you see your higher self, you see it look like yourself. I have to give you an example. Christian person meditating will always see Jesus Christ. No? They will never see Shiva, they will never see Buddha, or they will never see Krishna. But meditating, like he's simply meditating, sitting quietly. Do you understand? And different color person meditating, they will see the Jesus Christ, whatever color painting they have seen. If they have seen blue eyes and the white skin Jesus Christ, some of them see black skin Jesus Christ with the brown eyes. And some people see completely the blue Jesus Christ with the green eyes. So, but Jesus Christ is actually one. But how can appear to be many different colors and appearance? Some see with short hair, some see with long hair, some see with trimmed beard, perfectly trimmed beard. I don't think he actually carried the scissors in the barber those days, you know. But you see the beard is so perfectly trimmed. But that is a question to be asked, but it's not the night. I'm not demoralizing anybody, it's your personal belief system. Person who is a Buddhist will only see the Buddha or whatever Buddha they are worshipping, whatever form of Buddha they are worshipping, they will not see other Buddhas coming in. And the person who worships Shiva will only see Shiva comes in meditation, despite they are no mantra chanting, they are only inviting Shiva. They just only meditating, Shiva only come to rescue them in their dreams also. Similarly with the Rama, similarly with the Krishna, because the higher self presence, the dedication, your total devotion towards to it, materializes that form. Either you have heard, read, seen, or will like it to happen. You project it. That is your projection. We have Jaki Rahi Bhavana Jaisi Prabhu Murat Dekhi Tasi. There is one word. Whoever have that consciousness at that time, God materialized to that form, to them. You see the appearance of God, appearance of the energy in that format. So, when you are meditating, try not to fixate yourself with a outcome or any projection. The moment you have a fixed outcome in your mind means it is an idealistic situation. You creating a idealistic object. Expectation and projection is a permanently fixed. That is a almost a ideal, almost a destination. You have nowhere to go. Remember, you have nowhere to go, and there is no need to go. There is no path, there is no journey. Journey is you, destination is you. Person who is meditating is you, person who need to be found is also you. Do you understand? You can create a idealistic situations, you can create in the many problem is we love magic. Magic is important. Sometimes we love idealistic situations because we feel savior. You want somebody to take your problems and fix them. Not possible. Your effort, your viveka, your karma, your contribution to your existence will make a transformation for you. Higher being, we say God is worried about you, that what you have eaten or have not eaten. I don't really think so. God, I pretty much, I can guarantee you, I don't think so. Even your partner don't worry about you have eaten or not eaten, never mind God. Your friends are not bothered, have you eaten or not eaten. So God is not really worried about you. Remember that. Do not project your problems on God. God gave you viveka, bada buddhi, chitta, ahankar. God have given you karmendriya, jnanendriya, your action senses, intelligence senses. Have given you intelligence, intellect, mind, ego, and also have given you ability to discern. You make your journey the way you are. And you make your own decisions end of the day. The God is in you 24/7. If you are not worried about you, God is not worried about you at all. Remember that. So, how you project your life, how you contribute to life, don't stop looking for saviors. You have a practice, practice it. I eat food, will you get benefit? Probably not. I do a practice, will you get benefit? Not. We like the idea of spirituality. We don't want to be spiritual. That's the problem. Because being spiritual requires effort. But having idea of being spiritual requires zero effort. Following spirituality requires zero effort. But being spiritual requires effort. Require a self-inquisitive, facing your own demons. Try to walk the path, not look for a some messiah, look for a some savior, look for a the idealistic situations in life. But that doesn't mean you stop practicing because there's no way to go. So I can do whatever I want to do. This is also again negative. A fine balance you need to create. That you are literally walking a very sharp sword and you have tread very carefully. You slip either side of it, becomes very difficult. Very fine line of life. Being spiritual takes effort, takes what you call it sacrifice. I don't call it sacrifice. I call it process of transformation, not sacrifice, because you have nothing to sacrifice anyway. You are going to leave everything behind. What are you going to sacrifice? Just only the little temptation of desire. That is nothing to say. You don't have it. If you don't fulfill the desire, it sacrifices itself. Some other new desire comes up afterward. If you fulfill it, no longer desire there, other desire comes up. It can sacrifice itself. So, important part, be spiritual. Don't have idea of it just only. If you just only create a idealistic situation around you and mentally believe the idealistic situations, you are going to have problems. And those problems are never going to leave you. Similarly, in meditation, when you meditate, do not create idealistic situation. Do not chase. As I said, there is nowhere to go and nothing to discover. Whoever needs to be discovered, whoever is meditating, is just that person needs to be discovered. It's only you all around. There is nothing else. I am Brahma asked me, there's only one Brahma, that is yourself. Try to become inquisitive. Is that me? Or who am I? Try to find it. Any awareness come to you? Observe it. Is that really you? Or is projected you? You layer after layer of your awareness. But do not make it a ritual about it. The moment you sit down and contemplating, analyzing, and intellectualizing, problem, experience it, feel it, and once you let go, you drop it. There's something new thing comes up, and no identity. The day when you let go, the idea or the idealist situation of being something or someone or somebody, you find a lot more peace. First thing, you need to be. Then you can think of being someone. So you have nobody, but you just try to be somebody. There is no being inside. You're just creating this stories after story after story about yourself. And then you say, I am suffering. Who is suffering? Story is suffering, not you again. So you can have many stories, and each story you create, and that brings its own pain. More stories you have, more pain you have. You have to speak on the level of people what they understand. Sometimes it's hard to understand because you have to pay bills, you have to eat food, you have to interact. You can pay your bills, no problem. You can interact with people, no problem. You can still be in a human body, but drop the idealistic situation. Start in one step. Do not be idealistic. Second, do not create a fantasies of spirituality. Being spiritual, it does not mean you create a fantasy about what it's like to be spirituality. Simplicity is one part of spirituality. Like in the I meditate, you can see a cosmos. How do you know cosmos? You probably have seen a picture or somebody drawn it. As that picture they perceive is the reality, is constantly evolving, is nothing fixed. But what you see is fixed. Whatever is written is fixed. But your existence is not fixed. The creation is not fixed. Your center is only part that fixed, but you are not fixed. You are constantly transforming. Energy is constantly transforming. But the moment you become fixed, that's when the problems arise. Your mind becomes fixated. Your mind is fixed. Your mind is not evolving or transforming. The day your mind stops transforming, your spirit is transforming, energy is transforming, but your mind is not, your belief systems are not. You have a problem. Learn to transform your belief system too. Learn to transform your mind as well.
In Sangha one week, there was some confusion over something said by Will, and then you addressed it, you talked about it, and then somehow he wasn't there anymore, and you made reference to Will again. And so this person said, here's another case of where I judged. They felt that they immediately judged you because you shouldn't have been talking about him when he wasn't there.
But you must
So that was
understand
another
one
example.
part, for me nobody exists, only I exist. And I could talk about anyone who I want to. So it's very clear. It's my idealistic projection situation. I could have called somebody else's name, not William's name. And my relation with William is completely different. As my relationship with Michael is totally different, my relationship with Delaro is totally different, with Tanya is totally different, and I will be scared to say many things to certain people because, but I don't. I just say as I feel like it. If people like it, not like it, their problem. I probably have said that day because I only can talk my mind. I only can say what I perceive. But my perception may not make people happy, make some people very unhappy. Some people even cry for a day or two. But every time they listen to it, they cry. Some people cry out of joy. Some people cry out of lack of self-acceptance. So it can happen anyway. Happy Navaratras, by the way, everyone. So, know the change of season. If you are religious or not religious, but this is a good time to fast anyway. For 9 to 10 days, when you fast, you create the transformation of internal bacteria in the body. Because change of season is mainly when you get sick. For health reason, you must fast every change of season for good 5 to 10 days. From health reason. Point one. if you are a religious person, you can also have good deeper meditation when you fast because there's less. You can check your patience, how much you love food, and how much food rules your mind. Are you really willing to meditate? You can see it if you can fast 3 days and third day try to meditate. Who dominates? Your God that you see in meditation or the food? What do you think of most? Do you understand, Michael? If you see Buddha every day while you are meditating, or you see a Krishna every day you're meditating, even the Kali every day you're meditating, or Jesus Christ, or the Shiva, whoever you meditate comes into your meditation, fast for a week and meditate every day and look, is the God coming in a meditation or the food coming in a meditation? So mind have not rise above the physical limitation. As long as you are controlled by your physical limitation, your mind is tangled by physical limitations, everything that you feel in meditation is a projection of idealistic situation. You just only creating the stories. You are not really feeling anything. If you meditate, you should be able to feel the same the moment you are happy, you are not happy. Same experience should be there of bliss or the presence. You should be able to still connect with the God. Because one time you make a connection, and the connection is there all the time unless you don't pay the bills, which is a meditation regularly. Like in the modern scenario, you get your electric connection. Electricity is always there because once time you get hooked up, that's it. As long as you continue meditating, there's not a problem. But if you have seen God one time, means your connections are made. There is no possibility to be disconnected. But he says, I only can see God sometime now and then, not all the time. Means there was no connection in the first place. It was a good story your mind was able to create a fantasy. But if you can see it one time, I guarantee you see it every time. Or you have not seen it at all, even first time. If your transformation have taken place inside you, usually you evolve, you don't downgrade. You only downgrade with your karmic situations. But once your inner self has seen in the presence of God, and I don't think you can any go down any further. You only can go up from there. But do you understand what I'm saying? If you see the God or the projected situation, it don't really actually help you to transform you any further. So what I can say, enjoy meditation. Don't chase the situations. Don't make the projections. Whatever happened during the practice, let that happen. You continue enjoy meditation. Because when you are meditating, you are with yourself. When you are with the situation, you are no longer with yourself. Meditation is not for situation, meditation is not for projection, meditation is not for idealistic situation, meditation is not for ideal, meditation is for you. Then remember, the moment you feel anything, you are no longer with yourself. I see color, you are no longer with yourself, you are with the color. If you see the stars, the wind, I remember one time I was teaching a meditation. I think I was in Notting Hill at the time. And we were having a very quiet meditation. I created like you are just here, come back to the body, And very dense meditation at the time. But they were up in the Himalayas. They had desire to go to the Himalayas and meditate with the Babas, who actually have no idea of meditation even. All they do is smoke chillum. But the person was up with the Babas and the Ganges and the smoking and meditating. I say, have you seen a Kumbh Mela movie? That's where you get ideas from. Maybe some paste. Not every meditation person actually smoke marijuana. Every Baba doesn't smoke marijuana. Some hippies might do, but not real sadhu does not smoke marijuana. They don't have time for marijuana. They only have time for God, not for marijuana. When you got time for marijuana, obviously you have not much time. You're not really connected with the God. Because you will be so high up with the pleasure and joy of ecstasy of the presence of God in your life, you don't need a drug to make you high. You're already high enough. But the time you need a drug to make you high, you don't have a God with you. You only have a drug with you. So if you are meditating, again, don't try to go off into completely unnecessary journeys. You will put our entire aviation industry out of business. You understand? You will put entire aviation airlines will go out of business if you keep going to India without visa and without air ticket and having good fun of Himalayas, just sitting meditating in London, and getting high with the Baba, It's illegal in India. You will be put to prison. Marijuana is illegal. Don't smoke. Not good for your health.
Is it important to meditate at the same time every day?
You should meditate anytime, anywhere, any day. If you are a beginner and you developing a practice, if you are a beginner and developing a practice, I will do recommend to create a certain level of discipline to your mind to meditate. It will become easier for you to do it. Like when you wake up every day 5 a.m., every day your eyes opens at 5 a.m. When you eat, you develop a bodily habit, your biochemical in the body comes into the natural habitat. Into the, let's say you eat food at breakfast 9 a.m. or 10 a.m., you will feel little hunger at that time. You start craving things. Because your bodily requirement becomes, your biochemical in the body becomes much more easier to adapt to the practice. So if you meditate same time every day, is very helpful if you are a beginner. Also, the best time to meditate personally is at 5 a.m. or 4:30, 4 a.m. in the morning. Rising or sunset, both of them are very good time to meditate. Avoid eating. Don't meditate before and after your meal. Soon after your meal, because you will not be meditating. You probably be sleeping. And once you have mastered in a reality, you should be able to meditate anywhere and anytime. There is no time to connect with yourself. There is no specific time to connect with yourself. Sometime out of 24-hour clock is easier. Sometime of some number of hours will be difficult to connect. Because your biochemical of the body is controlling how your brain is operating, how the wavelength, your body creating the different type of frequency, and which element is dominating in the body at that time will have impact on the meditation. But the more you practice, the greater master you become. You can meditate anytime, anywhere. Once you become Buddha, you don't need to worry about where you can meditate, where you cannot meditate, and when you can meditate. To all you need, you 24/7 with yourself, and you should be able to connect with yourself anytime. I give you my situation. One time, I was visiting my teacher, and I always used to travel with my one suitcase of my meditation equipment, like everybody have it, little altar, little shrine, and the incense holder, a little fire lamp, deepam, a special cushion that was given by my teacher. I was carrying it because my teacher gave it to me. I thought that was the only cushion I can meditate, otherwise I cannot meditate. I kept it for 30 years. One day I gave it away, somebody who needed me more than myself. And I had to carry that cushion with me and the specific chadar and the lamp, deepam, all those ritual, what do you call it. So I had a good ritual of half hour before I meditate. Then half hour, 1 hour meditation. So I used to get quite concerned that I cannot meditate without doing that ritual. I was with my Guruji one day, and I said to him, I have to go because I have to meditate. So if you need to meditate, go upstairs and meditate. He said, no, I have to go to my room and I have to set my altar, do this. And he was laughing his head off. He was laughing his head off. And it's the same person who gave me the cushion, by the way. It's the same person who gave me the cushion was laughing. He's saying, why can't you meditate here? I said, but I need to sit down with the meditation ashram and this, and that's the only item I can meditate. He said, you are not meditating. You're just repeating same thing every day. If you are dependent on those objects to meditate, you are not meditating. You have no idea of meditation. You only depending on those objects to meditate. Those objects are more meditation than yourself. And for a moment, it actually struck me. I said, you gave me that cushion. I carry that cushion all the time. He said, that was a burden on me. I passed it on. I got free. I got free. I actually can meditate without that cushion anywhere, anytime. So, for me, it was a big challenge. For me, it was a big challenge. So I came to London. And my hardest place to meditate was Oxford Circus, because I had to go teach in the central London once. And I had to go sit down quietly. Nowadays you see everybody sitting quietly, lotus position, meditating in the middle of the road mountain, little island in the middle of the road. People do more decoration of meditation than actually do meditation. For me it was not meditation, but for me it was getting annoyed by the noise and getting affected by the people's disturbance, people pushing on you, moving around. Can I meditate standing? Can I meditate anywhere? A busy with most karmic energy is there. So I used to stand different locations, different days when I had time. But my prime point was, if you ever been to the Oxford Circle, they used to have a Nike shop on the corner. So I had to hide away in one of the pillar in the corner. They're standing like a homeless person, just sitting quietly, keeping my eyes closed, and just try to just tune in with myself. After a good 5 months of progress, one day I got to the process of hearing noise, getting annoyed, getting angry, getting raged inside, not even able to close my eyes, getting distracted, being scared somebody going to steal things out of me. There is lots of fear comes in, but I passed it through. Continue. I said, somebody take my bag, take it. Doesn't matter. Meditation is important. I need to make sure I get there. So I carried on, and one day I did not hear a single person. All I heard is just a noise, not a word. Just heard a noise that I hear in my meditation. Very single pitch sound. Everybody disappeared. Just I don't even feel that actually I was at Oxford Circus doing that meditation. I stopped, I walked home, and that was the day I gave away the cushion to somebody. and I was freed myself from that ritual of meditation. Especially I have to meditate every day at 10:30 or 4 a.m. I can meditate middle of the day. You should be able to meditate anytime. To meet a God, you don't need a specific timing. You should be able to see yourself anytime, 24/7 available to yourself. If you only willing to see yourself a certain number of hours, you are scared of seeing yourself, obviously something wrong with you. You should be able to see yourself anytime. At least have a desire to see yourself anytime. Not fix it to the particular timing and not to be limited by objects. Okay? So go to temples, go to shrines. All those rituals are important. They gives you vibration, they gives you frequency. Higher energy places gives you the motivation. Those are tools, not destination. Remember that very clearly. Everything that you have, even what I'm talking to you, is not meditation. It is a tool, maybe to inspire you, maybe to navigate you, maybe to take away some of the illusion, maybe to create a bit more clarity. They are tools, they are not meditations. If you fixate yourself on the tool, that's when the problem arises. Continue. You go to shrine, you go to the monastery, you go to temple, you go to the holy places, you go see the nature. These all gives you idea and inspiration. Try to make you connect with yourself, go deeper within yourself. They become a tool, they becomes a process to make you encouraged or aware more what beautiful you are inside. Whatever you see, remember, is all projection. That whatever you see outside, you seeing yourself. So when you go to see a shrine, you are not seeing the shrine. Whatever beauty you see in shrine is actually your beauty you are seeing. Some people go and see the same shrine. Some people see the faults in the shrine. Oh, these eyes are not really aligned. This cloth could have been very nicely done. Or this the structure is not very good. The deity color is not very good. Some people see totally beauty, mesmerizing. So deity is the same, shrine is the same, but perception of seeing is totally different. You see the 5 people seeing the God same time but perceiving completely different energy. So when you go to see those holy places, temples, then when you go to India, you must go to India. There's lots of vibrant energy places. There's lots of vibrant places also in Europe. I went one time to Croatia. There's lakes there. I was mesmerized by it. I guarantee you. I literally lost. I lost the time. I lost myself. I lost that where actually I was. I was nowhere at all. The nature was so beautiful. I said, if it's so beautiful outside, can you imagine how beautiful God will be? How beautiful energy will be? Who created that situation? The frequency that manifested. So it just depends how you see yourself. But you get inspiration from those places. Sometimes you go see your friend, you get so inspired because of their hospitality, their loving nature, the caring nature, kindness. It can literally inspire you to cultivate little kindness inside you. The inspiration can come from anywhere, but judgment can also come from anywhere, depending what actually you are aligned with, what your motivation is in life. Okay. On that note, I have taken more than actually enough of your time. Hari Om Pranam. Thank you, everyone.